Welcome to the ultimate Squid Game breakdown, where we're diving deep into the show that's taken the entire world by storm. Squid Game is not just a TV show, it's a global phenomenon, and everyone is talking about it. With its mind games, shocking eliminations, and twists, it has us all hooked. But here's the big question. Would you make it out alive from the Squid Game universe if you were thrown into it? Let's share the top secret tips and tricks which will help turn anyone, however unlikely, into a Squid Game champion. Are you ready to deep dive into strategies that separate winners from losers? Let's jump into it. So, let's set the scene. Imagine yourself as one of those unfortunate players. It's 455 contestants stacked against you, and the prize could not be bigger. Every game is deceptively simple, modeled after childhood games, but there's a lethal twist. You're eliminated for good if you make one wrong move. Sounds intense, right? Although they will give you an idea of the level of violence Squid Game is prepared to offer, brute force is not the key to survival. It's all about strategy, observation, and thinking outside the box. Each game is different in rules, quirks, and strategies for survival. When you watch Squid Game, you'll notice that intelligence and nimble thinking often play a much bigger part than just strength and speed. Let's begin with the very first game that set the tone for everything that followed: Red Light, Green Light. Red Light, Green Light places players on a field with a massive doll robot scanning the area. The rules are deceptively simple. Reach the other side without moving when red light is called. But if you're caught moving, it's game over. So, what's the secret here? To begin, hold off on doing a dash. Quick movements just make it more difficult to stop on cue. Instead, take calculated, measurably controlled steps, like player 001. Another pro tip, don't look at the doll. Rather, you want to focus on your footing and hearing the commands. Here, your ears will react faster than your eyes. And for an added edge, use humans as shields, as this will increase your chances of not being captured by the doll. Hey, no one said survival couldn't come with a little teamwork, especially when they don't know they're part of your team. Mental sharpness is what separates the winners from the rest when it comes to Red Light, Green Light. Remember, it's all about patience. Second game begins with us in the world of the sugar honeycombs. Each person receives a circular tin with a brittle honeycomb in it with a shape pressed inside: circle, triangle, star, or the dreaded umbrella. Their task: break it, but don't break the shape. The easiest shapes are triangles, and umbrellas are notoriously difficult, as pro players would know. Here's where expert strategy comes in. Place your needle up against the side of your hand, right next to the crook of your arm, and test the strength of it by pulling it straight through your skin to ensure it isn't too weak to work. Using a lighter touch with a well-angled needle prevents the candy from cracking. While the saliva trick from Joo-ryeong is vital, here's an inside trick. Don't just lick the back, but use the warm moisture to very gently push on weak points in the candy. Turns out, the best tool for this game is good old-fashioned drool. Mom would be proud. Also, don't forget to look around to sneak ideas from others who are doing well. Then, just when players think they can rest, Squid Game introduces an unexpected twist: nighttime violence. All of a sudden, the dorm lights go out, chaos ensues. It's not an official game, but this is one of the most dangerous points in the competition. Survival here is all about strategy and alliances. However, players who attempt to go solo run the risk of being overpowered by other groups, so teamwork becomes important. The best move? Pick a corner to protect yourself, limiting the angles from which you could be attacked. You could alternatively do the same by hiding under a lower bunk. Trust others and form alliances, but only do that as necessary. Pro tip: form a smaller group with your close trusted peers. Your gang will help you cover blind spots and fend attacks from larger groups. When it comes to this, numbers are everything, and knowing when to stick together can be the difference between survival and elimination. Once the dorms are back under control, we enter Game 3, Tug-of-War. This game is all about strength. Or is it? Having physically strong players is a bonus to Tug-of-War, but even this game is really more about technique than just having strong team members. If you know what you are doing, a well-organized team can overpower a physically stronger one. The smartest players here use one trick: locking, keeping elbows firmly behind knees for an anchor-like effect. When playing, station your strongest teammate as the anchor in the back, like Ali did in the show, so their body weight can brace the rope. Here's a top secret trick. Before the game, have each teammate lean back at a 45-degree angle and dig their heels into the ground. This leaning position is a good idea because it lets you lower your center of gravity and make it almost impossible for the team you're playing against to pull you off balance right from the start. And here's a critical tactic. If you start losing ground, have everyone from your team suddenly step to the side. The sudden shift destabilizes the other team, giving you a second wind. With these techniques, even an unassuming team can pull through, literally. But here comes the climax. The fourth game, Marbles, brings a sinister turn. Glancing at first, it seems deceptively innocent, a game of marbles with a partner. But here's the twist. This isn't just a friendly match. In other words, to survive, each player must win all the marbles on his partner. Suddenly, the realization sets in. It's you or them. Only one can come out of the arena alive. And this is what marks Squid Game's descent from a skill-based game to a psychological battle, one that puts bonds to the test and breaks spirits. Marbles is all about controlling the mind of your opponent, and you're only an expert when you truly realize that it's not all about luck. You lure them off guard, suggest a friendly game that they don't quite understand, smile at them, gain their trust. Turn the tables on them then when they least expect it. You can use the strategy game NIM, a classic psychological tactic. Going first and mirroring their moves is a surefire way to mathematically win your match and have them puzzled and helpless. And that's the terrifying part. Seeing your partner's trust turn to shock when they realize you've outwitted them. Who knew marbles would turn into the ultimate friendship killer? And they say board games end in disaster. As tensions escalate and emotional weight is in the air, this is no longer a game, but a matter of life or death. But as we step out into Game 5, Glass Stepping Stones, the stakes get higher, quite literally. Players must cross a bridge with two types of glass panels, tempered and normal glass. But only tempered glass is safe. As the game goes on, the probability of correctly picking decreases. So, what's the answer here? Patience. If you're not the first player, you can learn from others crossing the bridge. Tempered glass sometimes looks slightly different under light, so watch carefully for subtle differences in glass transparency or color. Test each panel if you have a small object, such as a shoe, by throwing it ahead. This is time-sensitive, and every step is calculated. In the sixth and last, we arrive to the Squid Game itself. The last two competitors compete directly against each other in a game closely resembling the classic Korean child's game. This round is about strength, agility, and yes, the will to win. However, the final showdown has a psychological element. Who has the confidence to stay calm and detach emotions from the decision-making process? Here's the expert strategy. Unpredictability is essential for the offense. Break out of your bread box, switch up your moves, don't run on predictable paths, and try to disorient your opponent. Meanwhile, the defender should be conserving their energy to wear the offense down slowly. They can force the offense into making errors by staying close to the edges. To win this final game, you have to remain mentally sharp, push through the exhaustion, and be fully aware of each step. And that's it, your ultimate guide on Squid Game winning strategy. Now that you know the secrets, the question remains, would you gamble everything and play the Squid Game for a chance to win the ultimate prize? Which game do you think you'd survive, and which one would take you out? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Real Dash for more exciting content. And remember folks, sometimes the only way to survive is to play the game.